Stay informed, Bahamas, stay ahead. It's your daily Bahamas headlines.
Good morning. These are your Nassau Guardian highlights for Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp channels. We begin with the main front page story. A major power struggle has erupted between Bahamas Power and Light and Bahamas Grid Company following an island-wide blackout on New Providence over the weekend. Bahamas Grid Company publicly distanced itself from blame, claiming it was denied access to the New Providence Control Center despite having contractual responsibility to jointly manage the transmission and distribution system. That post was later deleted, but it raised serious concerns about coordination, transparency, and accountability. The outage, triggered during a powerful cold front, left large sections of the country without electricity for hours. The incident has intensified calls for the government to release the full details of its deal with Pike Corporation, as confusion over who controls what within the power system continues to grow. Another major national story involves public health care nurses, many of whom called in sick over ongoing frustration with unpaid overtime and deteriorating working conditions. Prime Minister Philip Davis said he was disappointed by the action, but insisted that arrangements are now in place to pay more than $2 million owed. However, the Bahamas Nurses Union says nurses are fed up, not only over money, but over unsafe, poorly maintained facilities. Union leaders highlighted clinics in Exuma and New Providence that are described as beautiful on the outside but dysfunctional inside, with plumbing failures, water shortages, and odor concerns. As a result of staffing shortages, several clinics and outpatient services at Princess Margaret Hospital have been closed or scaled back. Weather conditions also dominated the news. A strong cold front brought near-record low temperatures, high winds, and rough seas across the country. The system caused widespread power outages on New Providence, Grand Bahama, Bimini, Abaco, Eleuthera, Exuma, and other islands. Residents described bitter cold, fallen trees, and downed power lines. A meteorologist say temperatures should gradually warm as the week progresses, though another cold front is expected later in the week. In other national news, a 51-year-old man died in a tragic industrial accident on New Providence after being buried when a hillside collapsed at a construction site. The incident has raised fresh concerns about safety protocols on job sites. Meanwhile, the court heard emotional testimony in an incest case involving a young girl, with probation officers describing lasting trauma and fear stemming from the abuse. Turning now to the editorial. The Guardian expresses deep concern over the growing confusion and tension between Bahamas Power and Light and Bahamas Grid Company. The paper argues that the government's refusal to make the BPL-Pike agreement public is unacceptable and undermines public trust. The editorial warns that without transparency and clarity, the power sector risks becoming unstable, financially risky, and politically explosive, particularly as the government discusses acquiring Grand Bahama Power Company. In letters to the editor, one writer questions whether political influence and family legacy played a role in the selection of candidates for Southern Shores, suggesting that merit and neutrality should matter more than connections. Another letter focuses on the state of confusion at BPL, echoing calls for transparency and warning that the Bahamian people could ultimately bear the cost of poor governance. From the business perspective, energy reliability and governance remain front and center, with ongoing concern about how power sector instability could impact investment, economic confidence, and long-term growth, particularly at a time when the country is already facing infrastructure and fiscal pressures. Before we close, remember this. Staying informed is not just about headlines, it's about understanding the systems that shape everyday life. As one quote reminds us, an informed public is the strongest foundation of a healthy democracy. That brings us to the end of today's Nassau Guardian highlights. We encourage you to purchase a copy of today's Guardian or visit their website to read the full stories and additional coverage in today's edition. Enjoy your day, be blessed, and be a blessing.